Let's talk about a hidden war, one that's not being fought on any traditional battlefield.
It all boils down to one single, shocking word: murder.
And it's happening on the high seas. Far from the public eye, in a place where the lines of accountability just completely blur.
Which leads to the central and very provocative question that investigative journalists are asking right now. Is the United States responsible? Now, this isn't just some hypothetical question. It's the very core of a truly stunning investigation. So, this explainer is built entirely on the incredible reporting from Inkstick Media. They're a nonprofit newsroom, and they're dedicated to digging into the super complex and frankly often hidden world of global security.
And their headline? It does not pull any punches. It's a direct accusation. So the real question becomes, how in the world did we get to a point where a headline like this is even possible?
To really understand what's happening today, we actually have to look back. See, this is a story about a war without borders, where the policies of the past are having deadly consequences in the here and now.
So yeah, how did we get here? Let's trace the path. How did the battlefield expand from faraway places all the way to the waters of the Caribbean?
Well, it all really starts post 9/11. The War on Terror created this incredibly powerful legal framework that allows for military action pretty much anywhere. Now, you fast forward a couple decades, and that exact same framework, built for one conflict, is now being used in a totally new context in the Caribbean. And that's what's setting the stage for these deadly boat strikes.
And this brings us right to the modern battlefield. It's a dangerous collision of multiple, overlapping crises.
A really key concept to get your head around is human security. It sounds complicated, but it just means that today, global security isn't only about armies and borders. It's about migration, public health, refugee politics, all these huge issues that are completely tangled together.
And this is where things get really dangerous. Words become weapons. On one side, you have migration, which is just people moving, often desperately searching for safety. But on the other, you have invasion rhetoric. That language reframes human movement as a hostile attack, and it's used to justify lethal force.
So what we're seeing is a perfect storm. You've got unchecked AI monitoring borders, a massive American war economy that just keeps growing, and militarized responses to human migration. The line between war and law enforcement has pretty much vanished.
Which brings us to the most critical part of this whole investigation, the question of legality. I mean, in a system this murky, who is ever held responsible for their actions?
This headline from the source material just frames the problem perfectly. It gets right to the heart of it. When a military order is illegal, where does the buck even stop?
What's really fascinating here is that journalists are asking such basic questions that nobody in power seems to be answering. Who gives the final order? What are the actual rules? Where's the oversight? How are you supposed to protect civilians? It's a complete and total accountability black hole.
So if the system won't hold itself accountable, who demands the truth? This is where independent journalism becomes absolutely essential.
Because when those lines are blurred and oversight is missing, this kind of in-depth reporting provides the first, and sometimes the only, draft of accountability.
And that right there is the mission. Independent journalism exists to hold power accountable, especially when the cost of staying silent is literally measured in human lives.